Hello, welcome to this video. I have some cards all here that I will be sharing about. Let me show you. I got all these cards, and I'm playing around with doing oracle readings for others, so this is a bit still of an experiment. Make sure my camera's set. There we go. Okay. So, well, that fell. Okay. My name is Erica as well, and yeah, I'm new to the oracle reading, but I'm excited to practice with you all. So these were the first two cards that came out. And when I look at this one, rather than seeing it as upside down, I'm actually able to see it more as like the jungle and within the thickness of a forest. You may be feeling there's also this glimmer of hope and optimism, like the glow around you, even though you're in a dense, like wooded area or jungle area, just basically natural area. There's this feeling of like there's still hope, and there's the new morning light or the evening light. There's this glow. Everything is golden, and no matter what path you choose, it's gonna be great. Like there's no loss. There's no loss no matter what path you choose. It's just an adventure of life. And there's not really a right or a wrong way to live life. There's only what's right for you. And in the moment of your choices, what are you choosing? And so at the same time, there's this egg here that kind of resembles the shape created by the elements of this card. So the golden egg is like, there's this tale about this goose that lays golden eggs, and I don't really know much about it, but there's something really special about that, where eggs are like something, like a new treasure in your life. Something new is coming, and rather than just like your average, egg, it's going to be a golden one. So it's something that's almost like unreal, fantastical, but it's actually happening. So it's like that part of life that you believe in, but some people tell you that it's just imagination and it's unrealistic. But actually, that's how this world is unrealistic. And believing in those magical things is what is going to shapeshift our reality into one that is totally new and different from any structure that is falling apart now. We can see those structures are falling apart. The old traditions and old ways of doing things that you must follow, that is all crumbling. And the person to help rebuild is us as individuals. We have to take responsibility of our part to play in the new golden form that we're creating, that's more focused on unity and equality and equity, and seeing everyone, not just humans, but every being as equals, and respecting them and what they offer. And even if we're triggered or we feel pain by someone's actions, like what is the gift in that mirror? Because everything around us is a mirror. And so what is that opportunity mirroring to us to heal within ourselves, to reflect and come back inward, to basically come back to loving yourself and holding yourself through whatever pain it is that may be bringing up. And that's the golden egg here for you, is the mirrors around you are offering you treasure, even if they may be disguised as pain. Give yourself the grace to let it become something beautiful for yourself. And we're here to grow, and growth happens through challenge and through, breaking things and rebuilding them. And if you think about like plants and how they start as a seed underneath in the soil in this dark space, but humans, we feel everything. So we're feeling, maybe the seed isn't consciously aware of that experience in the same way that humans are, but we're feeling it. So that's why it seems so intense. But it is still part of the natural process of growth. So in order to experience that thing that you want on your heart, or in order to have a completely different experience of life, maybe you're feeling like you're really stuck in this struggle of what's going on around you. Remember that you're also just feeling the sensations of growth and being like a seed in the earth, and the different parts, the different stages of growth all have these aspects that can be really like testing and challenging to you, but it's all because you can feel it. And other things, they don't necessarily have that same conscious awareness as we do. But it's important to remember and see the golden energy around you, and that no matter where you are in yourself, in your life, no matter where you come from, we all have the ability to see the positive to something, and the opportunity that is available, because everything has both negative and positive within it, and it's us who consciously decide what we see. So we're the ones that create the story of what it is we're seeing. So like this card could look completely different to someone else. So we are the ones that create that story, and our perspective is what matters. And that's why it really is up to you to choose one that is for your best self, for your well-being, and for the well-being of the entire world and planet. And sometimes that requires you to like be in a place of feeling that, darkness, and that's okay. But it's also important to know when to let go of a cycle and break through, and be that sprout that breaks through into the next growth period, because it's also easy to get stuck. And so it's really important to continuously, give yourself time, but then when it's time, like be like, okay, time to come back to the things that I do that are really best for my well-being, the things I can do that help me to feel more connected with my body and my essence and my joy. And even though I don't know what's going on next, or I might be in a feeling kind of like there might be some stagnancy, or there's a lot of unknowns that can be scary if I let myself think about it. Instead, you can come back to like the tools you have to help yourself feel more balanced within your experience of life. Because if it's all an illusion, then so are those challenges, and they'll never go away. There will always be something new that can distract your attention. So no matter what, there's no end location where that will never happen. So instead, we can sit back and practice the like refinement of experiencing this balancing act of life, where you have some unknowns, maybe some upcoming things that are, or some like challenges that are happening, but you also have these blessings and beauties and gifts that are right here, right now, and the gift of life itself, because you only get this, we don't even know how many times. And then the next card that I pulled, so I'll just show you this again a little closer. And so there's also a monkey in here, and that reminds me of the playfulness of life. Like life is supposed to be playful and fun. So no matter what's happening, you can always tap into that playfulness, and that will help just break through some of that like roughness that's going on, and the light, and then also to help see that light in the golden forest. So then a bunch of cards came out sideways, including this one. So another egg. So basically, this time period you're in right now, it may feel like not much is happening, but beneath the surface, there's things happening that are just tying up loose ends, because we're coming into the new cycle of from winter to spring, and spring is when we really get an even deeper reset. So right now is that season of grounding and rooting and deeper levels of release and processing of things from the past or energetic connections we have, so that you're more ready for, your energy is at the level and vibration for what it is that you maybe have set for yourself for the upcoming year, or in general for yourself, that you envision with your heart, that you have that you're calling in. There has to be a inner revolution in order to experience the outer experience of what it is that you're calling in. So that's what this is like this time period is a lot of this activity of tying up loose ends, and it's not even necessarily something you're consciously always aware of, but it's just in those micro choices that you make, like letting yourself rest when you need to, doing some journaling about limiting beliefs that are coming up for you, working on the shadow work, and like basically that's what these cards are, is like the unfinished business, what I was sharing about the egg opportunity. And yeah, I already forgot what I shared about, but what I just shared about. All right, let's see what's next. On the other side of all of this, and we can also tap into the sensation of all of this, is this Treasure Island and peace. These are all accessible to you internally first and internally now. So even though outside of you maybe there can easily become the perception of not having these things in your life, it actually is all dependent on how you create it within yourself, within your connections to your higher self, within your, daily choices and habits that either promote this or don't. And that's you choosing. It's not anyone else. And no matter what's happening in the external world, you have the power to come back to this and make bold choices that claim these for yourself. This treasure and this inner peace is possible. And it comes back to coming to your roots, grounding in every day, every morning and evening, and using your breath to center yourself. So coming back to your center and your inner stability, and knowing that once it really clicks in that you create your reality, you can wake up and remember that, and it helps you to know that you are always taken care of, because you have yourself and your inner world is stable, grounded, and secure, and that's what matters most of all. Everything else is an illusion. Connecting back to your heart is another way to tap into this inner peace and prosperity. That is what is going to help you see it and how it's already existing in your outer world, but also it has more spaciousness now to expand in new ways, in new levels that will be what you probably have in your heart, that you envision for yourself. Maybe a literal thing, or a feeling, or maybe like you're ready for a new relationship, or you're ready for the next level of a relationship, or you're ready for an expanded home or the next level of income. It's important to work on the building blocks of what you have now before you reach to the next level, so that you're able to really maintain it. Kind of like going to the gym and working on different muscle groups. It takes steps and levels before you can really get to that maybe goal you have for what level of weight you can lift. And it takes practice, daily practice, intention, and commitment. And it's okay to, fall off that commitment, because that's just normal, and come back to it. So we also have these cards. That's the Observer and the Upside Down Soul Mates. This one's so cute. So this one comes back to like the message I'm thinking of or feeling of sharing is, especially this season, because when I'm recording this, it's February. So we'll see if you get this in February or not. But love and relationships and receiving the love and tender and care that you maybe your inner child wants or you want or you just want more of. Don't forget that this is something that you give to yourself first. And although there might be a deep wound related to not receiving it when you were a kid in certain ways or from a relationship that you're in, go back to where that comes from. Like, where does that feeling come from of not receiving that tender love and care? And journal about it, because that's going to help you do some more of that processing that you're doing, to see the golden egg in this opportunity of the reflection of maybe you're in a place of feeling really sad or sorrowful or grieving or lonely, or all the things that come when you're out of balance with your higher self, basically. And that's a natural thing that happens, to feel that misbalance so that you can come back to even more expansion in your connection with your heart and yourself. It's important to feel that opposite sensation, so then you can work on the deeper wounds that need care and attention that will help you to experience the next level after that. Where's the other card? Oh yeah. And that's also what Observer is about. It's like noticing what's coming up for you in the realm of love and relationships and connections from the place of being an observer. Like, don't let yourself get too caught up in the emotion and the story of it. Just let yourself feel it. And as soon as it's felt and you see it, it's gone. Like, let that be as it is. Don't try to like hyper analyze or overthink about it, because you're just feeling something that's naturally releasing from you, and being held by your gaze and by your observation alone is what is the like chunk of the process of healing that wound, because you're able to see new aspects of it, and that's literally bringing light to that shadow, because you're seeing it. Sight is light, so you're seeing that shadow and working on the healing process related to love and connections. And this month especially, like, what are some ways you can really celebrate yourself and focus on that and treat yourself like your primary Valentine, even if you do have a Valentine, someone that you're going to be celebrating with. Also, how are you treating yourself as your Valentine? And that's where the treasure truly lies, is in the ways that we are connecting with ourselves intimately, like in your own essence. Treasure is felt when you do that. And then this last card we got as well is called, it says Not For You. Let's see if I have an idea of what I want to share, but let me just see if there's anything else before I do. Look at the relationships in your life, and there's a fine balance between what is a relationship that's not for you and what is a relationship that just is asking you to go inward to change something within yourself. And maybe that would actually be the thing that evolves the relationship. And then there's also some relationships that maybe their growth or where they're at is just not necessarily bringing you into this place of love and abundance. It's not necessarily the thing that's adding to value to your life. So it's important to know the difference between people and places that need to shift, and what are the people and places that are just showing a reflection of ways to shift in yourself. And every relationship offers that kind of reflection, but maybe some are just still not bringing the level of value that you know you deserve and that you want from the people in your life. And just kind of take note and take stock of that and be aware of what is naturally for you and what isn't, because we all are naturally move through life in different ways, and some people click more easily and some maybe not. And it doesn't mean, you know, don't let them be in your life, but it just means that it's good to be aware of who those people are and what those places are as well, because places are like people. And going forward, what are your anchored steps, knowing that as well, now that you have like information about what it is that is for you and what it is that is not. Like, use that information and make a change by choosing something new and different, or even just saying I'm open to something new and different. And maybe that will come up through the relationships you already have too. Okay, let's see. So these cards are similar to what I was just saying, and so it's another illustration if you really like pictures of taking note of relationships and the ways that you're connecting with yourself. You might be feeling like things are flipped around in the realm of love, in the realm of relationships, and the way you're receiving the care that you know you deserve. Maybe you want a new level of that. So being in this upside down place is going to help you get to the balanced new level now that you have awareness around this. And that's the between worlds experience, is like, especially in this season, we're in this place of like purging and releasing, and at the same time behind the scenes the universe is orchestrating things as our energy and vibration shifts through these observations and inner alchemy that we're doing. The universe is able to align things for us because it comes into alignment when our subconscious, deeper self is in alignment as well. And in between all of that, like for me, the best thing that helps me a lot is sleeping. So when is it time to take action and when is it time not to take action? And sometimes, even this one I struggled with a lot the last couple of weeks, and I was getting way out of balance. And it was because I was like just feeling the impatience for what's to come, when in reality I was really just supposed to tend to myself and rest. Okay, let's see. It is coming, what it is that you have set out for your heart. And remember, it's about the journey, not the destination. So in that journey, how can you enjoy the experience? And someone said this recently, I don't know where from, but like what you set out on your heart and write down for manifesting, or intentionally put out there, even just in your thoughts, those are the things that create the navigation path for you to experience growth. And maybe it's not even about the getting to the next level, it's about the having that vision is what creates the spiritual and material growth that you experience as being humans on earth. And there's a divine timing to everything, and that really has more to do with your ability to go with the flow of what's needed now rather than what you think you need. Do what is right for your higher self, like listening to your intuition and your heart. And a lot of times, especially in the season of winter, it's not about taking action in the ways that, consumerism and fast-paced action tells you to. It's actually about breathing into the discomfort of the unknown and breathing into the discomfort of maybe patience, like that stuff, like staying still. It can that can be a challenge just as much as anything. Actually, that's the hardest challenge of all, I think, is trusting that someone else is taking care of it, being the universe and the way that the world is created. The universal laws, they are in play. So things will happen for you because of these laws. Like, trust in those and maybe take some time to look up those and see what they are. And there's a ping pong effect. I say ping pong, but it's actually called like, I forget what it's called, but it's basically a pendulum swing. So no matter what you're experiencing now, one thing that always helps me out is I know that I'm always going to experience a swing effect of the opposite. And there's this show I've been watching a lot recently that is basically like this group of people that help out these, someone who comes to them. And the person that comes to them is usually, panicked. They're in a like life or death situation. And then this trio are really skilled in a lot of different things to help take care of this, but it requires a lot of skills that they have that the person who comes to them doesn't have. And they always, help out the person who came to them, but it seems like things are going bad, but actually they're getting taken care of. And the person who is in this situation has to just trust. And it's the times that they don't trust and they like get themselves involved out of panic that things start, they kind of mess up the operation. If you've ever seen Burn Notice, that's the show I'm talking about. And so that makes me think a lot about as if the person, the client is the human, and the trio of people who are experts at like espionage and different things, they're the universe. And so we as the human have to just trust it's being taken care of by a group that is way more skilled than we are. And if we get involved, we're actually going to totally like mess up the operation. So that's, if you followed that example, hit a thumbs up. Okay, so divine timing, and let yourself use the messages that you receive, such as this one, and anything that comes up in your world. They could be angel numbers, they could be little signs from, like winks from the universe. They could be oracle readings. I sometimes overwatch oracle readings from others and tarot readings because they really help me to be like, okay, things are moving in the right direction. Just listen to that, and it helps me really be that trusting individual. And so let yourself use these messages to help you come back to yourself, peace and trust, and just like, what do you want to do for the day? How do you want to approach the day, and what can you do for yourself that's something special? And then the last cards are ones that I actually received recently as well. So my last video was similar to, I actually pulled this card as well, and it's the same message that we are still in this place of going forward. And what will help us to enjoy this experience more is by utilizing the world around us and the gifts that we can receive and give to others just by being ourselves. And coming back to your center, coming back to your breath and your grounding, and loving all aspects of yourself is going to have a ripple effect for everyone around you. Because if you are centered and grounded in your heart and in your breath, you're going to be better able and more equipped to approach someone with love and kindness and understanding and compassion than, impatience, sensitivity to like reactivity, I should say. Fury is the word that came to me. I've never really used the word fury, but that's something to take note of as well, is like, you and your beingness is the gift that is for the world. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to like solve the problem. You just have to be yourself, and what you naturally feel drawn to do or express or create or, spend time on, that is the path for you. That is the next path of your journey in this wooded forest, is coming back to yourself and what you feel drawn towards from this place of grounded centeredness. What is it that you're feeling interested or curious about, or just feel kind of like nudged to do? So that's the reading for today. And I think a lot of these messages are all very similar, but they're really helpful to hear because we come back to this place a lot. We come back to the same place that we are currently experiencing all the time. Meaning, like, I've been in this place of uncertainty how many times, but I'm here and I'm almost I'm able to manage it way better than I was like last year, for example. So even if it feels like things are going round and round, that was really helpful. They are getting better. Like, think about yourself last year in this same situation you're in now. How were you handling it then? And how are you handling it now? Is there any differences? We are going to continue to learn the same lessons, but it'll become lighter and lighter every time we come around, and we have the tools and knowledge of how to handle that, how to approach whatever it is we're experiencing within ourselves. Yeah, and then I got a couple, okay, so we got a couple other cards that came out, so I'll just see if, there will come a time soon this season that it'll be time for you to move into that next level, leap into that vision. And it might be just like one step, not like some big move, but it could be one step towards that big move. And you will have to say goodbye to some things, and that's okay, because you wanted the thing that is coming towards you. So say yes when it approaches you. And let yourself be open to receive it and the miracles that are available, because like, why not live life and explore new aspects of it? If we are given this gift of life, there's so much more of the world to experience when you let yourself say goodbye to some things so that you can experience something new. Kind of like this forest, like, how many paths are there? And I know sometimes that gets a lot overwhelming for me, because then I feel like there's too many paths and I want to experience all of them. That's what I get into. But just enjoy the moment. And it's okay if you can't experience all the paths at once. Then you'll get stuck in that place if you focus too much on that. So we also have this mending card and the serendipity. The relationships that you are calling for and the experience of them, they are coming into fruition. And the experience of receiving them is going to be completely new. The experience of the interactions will be completely new, especially as you tend towards the relationship with yourself. Those wounds that I was talking about earlier on, like the childhood inner TLC, wanting that love and care from others. Like, what is the wound when you feel like that's not being taken care of by others? So there's going to be some mending going on, even with the current people in your life, having conversations or just writing about it if you don't feel like you're ready to have a conversation with them. But this will be what transforms your experience moving forward for this upcoming year, so that you can experience all of these relationships in a much more receptive, natural way without having to force it, like, when you want something, to experience something from someone, and it feels like you almost have to like control that to happen, to experience the different version of that, work on mending